What's up, everyone? Let's just jump right into this, Habby. We got a ton to talk about. Free agency is here. Tons of transactions to talk about. But first off, glad you're back on the mic, buddy. How's it going?
I'm good. I'm excited to finally get some football talk in here after free agency hit, and lots of big news coming out of the NFL. So gets the juices flowing, and it's exciting.
Yeah, we'll just like I mentioned, just with everything going on with free agency, trade, signings, you name it, everything's kind of happened.
Yeah.
A lot of people getting paid is what I'm seeing.
Oh yeah.
Like the going rate for positions have drastically jumped from last year. But I got a little bit of a rant first I got to talk about here, Habby, because it really angers me right now.
Oh, here we go.
Aaron Rodgers. Okay, I get it. How many Super Bowls this guy got, Habby? One,
yeah.
Okay, you got one. You got what? A couple MVPs?
Yeah, he's got MVPs.
Okay, so answer this for me. Okay, if you want to run a fucking football team, why don't you just go buy one? If you got the money, go buy one. What kind of guy just says, okay, I want to play for this team. Here's a list of people that I want you to go and get in free agency for me to play with.
Let me tell you why he may have done that, because he's not walking into any sort of organization. He's walking into a Jets organization that has not known how to win since Joe Namath was rocking there. And so if he has a right to come in and say, okay, you guys are doing this, and this wrong, namely maybe the receiving department. He has not. He's been shafted by Green Bay for how many years for not getting really a say into what receivers they're bringing in. Now at least he's just providing a list. Bring Lazard with me. I have some chemistry with this guy. It'll help me in your offense do better right off the bat if I have somebody with chemistry in with it.
I'm not sure, but has Lazard won a Super Bowl with them? Has Randall Cobb, has he done anything the last few years that he's been back in Green Bay? These guys, he couldn't win in Green Bay.
Yeah,
he's not going to go to the Jets and win a Super Bowl.
It's not Lazard that's going to get them over the top. It's going to be guys like Wilson, like those elite players. But in the meantime, it wouldn't be bad to have a guy like Lazard there as well. Because he's got some rapport with Rodgers already.
The only thing that this does for me is it makes this division exciting. Yes. Number one, it's funny because I think Miami could actually be the worst team in this division.
Yeah,
which is crazy with the way that with the team that they have. However, I just what, man, back in the day when LeBron James had to hold this whole ESPN. This is where I'm playing. Rodgers is a bum. I hope he.
I have no problem with him coming in and saying and wanting a couple demands.
But let's go. We have to go on the Pat McAfee show to let everyone clear the air. Clear the air.
He does win. He can win. You can't deny that. Green Bay has won lots when he was there.
Yeah, but still don't get a Super Bowl. So just buy a team so you can have full say. And go from there. There's zero chance. I would, if I'm a GM of any team, I'm taking him on and paying the ransom that I have to go get him for. Zero chance. Zero chance.
I don't know. You rather pay $40 million for Jacoby Brissett or something?
I'll go get Lamar Jackson. The guy that's going to be able to put years in on my team.
What has he done? He'll play 14 games a season, and he'll. Okay, I
can't say that because I hate him too
put
because
butts in
of
the
all
seats,
this shit.
But he's not going to get you Super Bowl because he's already too dinged up.
I just don't see. I can't justify paying a guy to come in. Lamar Jackson is a bad comment.
If he's one of the best gunslingers in the league, I will sign him up every day of the friggin' week.
No. You know what? I hope he. Whatever, man. Just what. I just don't like him. I don't like the drama he brings on every single year. It's all about him, blah, 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 blah.
Well, three-time MVP, man. Three-time MVP.
Until they go 5-12 this year, and then what happens, right? Then he's going to contemplate retirement.
Sure. If they go 5-12,
win,
but I don't think I don't
game.
I don't have them projected going 5-12.
Can't win a game with the guys that I brought along with me from Green Bay. Yeah. Anyways, whatever. You know what? Let's just talk about this. Sorry, been just fuming all day.
That's the only one on the list from Green Bay was Lazard. There was Odell.
Cobb.
And,
Cobb.
Oh, Cobb was on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that guy's old as shit.
Yes.
Yeah, like what are you going to do? And what they're going to put
But behind
in there?
who's Jets got on their depth chart right now?
Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, Elijah Moore and Wilson, yeah.
But had Cobb come in, or if Cobb comes in, what are they going to do?
They're going to need a third guy there. They're going to need a third guy.
Well, they're going to be basically turning Elijah Moore into what they did with Denzel Mims, man. Just lock him up and just never play the guy.
Oh yeah, you think?
Yeah. That's where I'm at.
I think Rodgers can support a couple or wide receivers.
All I'm saying though is if you bring Cobb and you're taking the position out of Elijah Moore's hand.
Yeah, if Cobb beats out Elijah Moore, then he deserves to get the Denzel Mims.
What if Rodgers says I want Cobb starting?
No, he shouldn't have that kind of say.
Whatever.
Okay, you can bring these guys in, but if they suck, then the coach has got to pull the string or pull the shoot on those guys.
You know what, Habby? I just hope he goes 5-12 and then retires. You never have to hear about him. First off the bat, we're just going to talk about guys. I'm going down a list right now. If I miss anybody, I'm sure we could talk about, throw some names out there, but this is pretty decent. So first one we're going to talk about, Hayden Hurst going to the Panthers. I think that's a solid fit for him. 3-year, $21.75 million contract, $13 million guaranteed. I mean, he was with Cincinnati last year on a 1-year deal. Got paid, 3.5, and I don't know. He did pretty well considering he's coming from a team, or he was playing for a team that was just had a ton of weapons on that team with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. So to get to, I find that this signing, especially going to Carolina, where they have struggled without a tight end for many years, since your boy Todd Heap was there, right? Todd Heap? Yeah, he was there. Was he with Panthers?
Well, Olsen.
No, he was Baltimore. Olsen, that's what I meant. Olsen.
Yeah.
But yeah, since he was gone, they haven't had anybody. So
yeah.
I think this is a nice spot for him, especially, hopefully they're going to be getting, either, I'm assuming Bryce Young, but you never know what the Panthers are going to do at one, but hopefully he's going to be able to be used, help out rookie quarterback down there.
Yeah, I think his workload will be pretty good, especially if they don't add any other significant wide receivers, because right now they obviously lost more, and so he could be one of their top options. Not a great, I think, landing spot for him personally, because Carolina is in a rebuilding mode and he is a vet. So yeah, I mean that's a tough spot to go into, knowing that you're probably not going to win any Super Bowls anytime soon. But I mean, production-wise, yeah, good landing spot.
They could also go out and grab this tight end class coming in this year is pretty deep, so could go out and get a guy like that. Talk to me about this Juju Schuster signing with the Patriots on a 3-year deal for $33 million. Crazy, weird.
I think they're going to get some talent in their wide receiver in the free agency here. I think that's what they're going after. I've already heard some rumors about a couple other guys they're looking at, namely the big one was Hopkins, D-Hop, and possibly there was another big name that was associated with them.
Oh, I sent that to you too.
Was not Juju. It was D-Hop and
oh god, just keep talking about it. I'll figure.
Anyway, and I think it's not as great as obviously the situation with Mahomes, because Mahomes is such a better passer.
Jerry Jeudy. Sorry, Habby.
Yeah,
Jerry Jeudy was the other name. Yeah.
But I mean, he got the money, so obviously that's what he's after. He's got a ring already now, so now he's going after the money. So there you go. He's got it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when he left Pittsburgh, he was looking for a multi-year deal. Didn't get it. So he, took it upon himself, signed a 1-year deal with KC last year. He was all right. Not all that great. I mean, played nearly, I think, over 60% of the snaps for the Chiefs. But I don't know. It's a weird signing to me. I mean, a good signing for him. I mean, he's chasing money right now, just like you said. He's got a ring. He doesn't need one now. I mean, everybody wants one. He's young enough. But you know what? Take a chance on yourself. Sign a 3-year deal. Hopefully, get a rapport going with Mac Jones, and just kind of go from there and see who else they add.
Yeah.
So,
for his the knee injuries he's had too, it's kind of surprising that he got that much money.
Yeah, especially because, like you mentioned, we'll talk about him after as well. But signed for the same thing that Jacoby Myers played for, or is getting paid with the Raiders organization now. So, but here's a weird one: Baker Mayfield going to the Bucs, 1-year deal, $4 million. To me, I don't know. Okay, I mean, I think it's not even a great fit for him. I mean, you got weapons there, I guess, but I don't know. Somewhere deep down inside me says that he's not even going to be good enough to beat out Kyle Trask in this offense. To me, you got Kyle Trask, who's been sitting for the last 2 years behind Tom Brady. I'm assuming he probably learned a thing or two from Tom Brady and how to play. So, I mean, if Baker comes in here and beats him out, then I'll eat my words. But I don't see it. 1 year, $4 million. That's backup money to me. That's, kind of bridging something to, maybe tank a little bit, really. I don't know.
Yeah. I think they're hoping they got a deal here, and Baker will come out and take that number 1 spot for a while to just let Trask even develop a little bit more. But like you said, I think Mayfield, we've seen the best from him, and he's going to come in here, and guys like Evans and Godwin are just going to get angry with them for not hitting them when they're open. And we'll see this job become Trask's sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Probably one of my favorite signings so far is, a deal for sure. That the one thing that the Eagles are doing correct, because they're losing pretty much everybody else from that, that Super Bowl contending team that they had on defense. They've taken a shit kicking. But signing Rashad Penny to a 1-year deal, $1.35 million. To me, that's a steal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to continue.
I can keep going on. I mean, if you look at Rashad Penny, the fact that he's going to be playing behind that Eagles offensive line, probably the best line he's ever played behind. I just think it's perfect. I think he's going to be a 3-down back in this offense, and I think he's going to just be a plotter. And I don't know. I think we're going to see him break out. I think he came on strong at the end of last season.
Yeah, best. I think it's the best landing spot for any running back right now is in Philly, with that old line, like you said. And we've seen when he's healthy, he still got some jam in him when they were needing him last year towards the end of the season when Seattle ran into some injury issues. I still think. Where do you think he's going to land on the depth chart there? Like number 2?
I think he'll slide in at number 1. To be honest, I think Sanders is gone. Sanders is going to get signed somewhere else, and you got Penny, you got Boston Scott, I believe, re-signed there.
See, that's the problem is that I still haven't seen enough out of him to deem him a number 1 running back in the NFL. Like especially with his injury issues, I think they would want to bring in somebody at least the same that can get the same production out of as Penny, if not more.
All I'm saying, well, if you look at the stats, so from 2021 to 2022, he's averaged 6.2 yards per carry and 4.4 yards after contact, and that's led the NFL in both those categories in the last 2 years. So, I mean, take the injury history out, he's productive, and now
it's impossible to take that out with him. No. You can't.
However, but he's got protection now, right? I mean, if you got an O-line that's giving you time to, find those holes and go, I think it's going to be a difference. I don't think he's going to be averaging 6.2 yards per carry. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I'm curious to see how it's going to shape up, but I like him. I mean, I love the signing though. I like
it's a good spot. Yeah. Good landing spot.
All right. Another one to talk about. I'll let you kick this one off. David Montgomery going to the Lions on a 3-year deal.
Yeah, it was sort of a surprising signing because of we thought the duo there was going to be Williams and Swift. We did know that they wanted to add another back to pair with DeAndre Swift because Williams was I guess that was the end of Williams. They don't like guys who gets lots of touchdowns, so get rid of him. So, I mean, projecting the Lions' backfield will not be easy task this season. While Swift has been, he's an explosive threat whenever he's healthy, but that's another problem with him is that the 24-year-old has struggled with injuries, often ends up playing at less than 100%. So that's not good. They bring in Campbell, who is, I believe, going to be like their hammer. He could very well follow Williams' path to be a top 12 fantasy finish, just because if he gets played in the same role, he's going to get a pile of touchdowns. And I think he is a better back than Williams too, so he could get more production even on the ground than Williams, and we could see Swift become more of like a gimmicky guy for that offense.
Yeah, to me, the signing, it makes sense, to be honest with you, because last year, I mean, you talk about injury history. DeAndre Swift has had his own issues, and during that time, as good as Jamal Williams was, Jamal Williams could never be a 3-down back. Anytime Swift missed time, I mean, it was Jamal Williams, and it was, somebody else that was in there too taking snaps. You know what I mean? So this, to me, I think Montgomery, number one, can do exactly what Jamal Williams did, short yardage at that point. He could catch. I think Montgomery's a great pass catcher. And I think the fact that if Swift does miss any time, I think Montgomery just slides right in there and he's a workhorse back again. I do, however, think that Swift does. They'll split time. It'll be a committee, as like most NFL teams are right now. But I think that's what probably really played a part in it. That they need a big guy like Montgomery, I think, out there.
Yeah, for sure. They got to insulate Swift too, I think, and every team is going for the 1-2 running back or 1A 1B running back would be the ideal scenario, and that's what they have here with these two guys.
Yeah, exactly. Talk about a quick quarterback, pretty irrelevant to be honest. But Andy Dalton signed a 2-year deal with the Panthers. Not a bad signing. He's basically a veteran to mentor whoever they grab at number one. Hopefully, Bryce Young is to me. I find he wasn't bad last year. I think he's still got some sort of talent left in him, but I guess we'll have to see.
All right.
Okay.
He went to Houston?
No, he went to Carolina.
Oh, Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina. Allen Lazard going to the Jets. 4-year deal. I mean, all these guys are making about $11 million a year. Even if Rodgers wasn't there, I do think that it's a great fit for the Jets. It wouldn't have mattered if Rodgers was going there or not. It helps now, like you said. But I mean, the new OC Hackett, he has a connection there with him, and I just think they need his size to play alongside with Wilson and Moore.
I think it might have been something like they sign up Lazard and it even entices Rodgers to come there even more.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He'll have the rapport with Rodgers already. He still won't have a major effect fantasy wise, I don't think, like wide receiver 4 or flex range based on how they run him in their offense. But he's a safety blanket for Rodgers there.
And I do like the fact of like what he did in Green Bay, throughout the years. He was kind of that number one receiver early on. And now the fact that, you're going to a team that has, the Rookie of the Year, Garrett Wilson there, that he's going to be taking a lot of that coverage away. So I think it is a nice fit for Lazard.
Yeah.
Another quarterback signing, Taylor Heineke going to the Falcons. Similar kind of thing. I think that they've already said that Desmond Ridder is going to be their starting quarterback. However, a guy like Heineke in there, a journeyman, can mentor this kid along, because I mean he's still fairly raw. He didn't really do too much last year, but I think having a guy like Heineke who, like I said, who's a vet that can kind of mentor this kid and give him a little bit of advice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he could. I mean, he could challenge for a few starts early in the season if Ritter's not showing good in his second training camp.
Yeah.
Because we've already seen that Heineke can do some good in the NFL. But I think ideally they brought him in to be the backup and a mentor to Ritter. Hopefully that he is good coming into this season.
Yeah, exactly. Excuse me. Tight end Darren Waller getting traded from the Raiders to the Giants. Yeah. This was weird to me. I think the Raiders blew it, to be honest with you. Great for the Giants. And the fact that they lost, pretty much the Raiders only had to give up the Raiders got basically a third-round pick for him. Now, why would you go trade for, or go sign Jimmy Garoppolo, and then literally get rid of a huge weapon for him in the red zone?
It is baffling. It makes you think that maybe behind the scenes there might have been something going on. For some reason, Waller's been on the trade. This isn't the first time he's been on the trade block with the Raiders, so it might have been something that's gone on for a few years.
I don't think him and McDaniels don't like each other. I did read something yesterday about how Waller just got married and they weren't announcing anything, but McDaniels took it upon himself to announce it at the combine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wow. So I think that was an issue.
And he married like NBA or WNBA.
WNBA, yeah. And then she had posted something on Twitter yesterday as well that said maybe it's because he wasn't invited to the wedding. So definitely some sort of issue there. But for Darren Waller, I mean, I think that could push him
That's
right up
into.
I think that puts him up in I might have him in like top 3. I'm putting him ahead of Kittle. Yeah. I think when I'm ranking him,
he'll get more production out of Jones and Carr for sure. I think, at least than last year.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. In the red zone, Daniel Jones is just going to love him. Yeah. So Michael Thomas signs a 1-year deal with the Saints. Completely forgot this guy's even in the league, but whatever. Yeah. 1 year, $10 million deal. I mean, guy's 30. If he stays healthy, I think he can still play. And the fact that he's going to be playing, opposite of Chris Olave, I think if he can stay healthy, I think we'll see a productive season out of him. I mean, I'm not counting on that happening, though.
Yeah, health is the main concern with him, and he's taken a year off. So I mean, just
has he even played in 2 years? I honestly
played a couple games last year, I think. And
did he? Okay,
down again.
I don't know. Obviously, it didn't really stand out because
see if he still got the same jam. If he still got it, I mean, before he left, he was one of the top 5 receivers in the league.
Oh no, I did. I'm looking it up here. So he missed a lot of 2020 and then all of 2021 and played 3 games last year. So
that's a long time.
Yikes! Off. Yeah, that's a ton. No wonder you're fairly healthy still. You feel young. Not a lot of miles on those legs.
Yeah. He must be out of money. He must be out of money.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when I heard some rumors about that he just didn't have a passion to come back and play anymore. Yeah, and now he's back, so he must have blew all his money.
Yeah. Jacoby Myers signs with the Raiders. As far as fit goes, probably not the best fit, I don't think. I think the Raiders got a good deal out of it. However, I don't know. He's a consistent receiver. That's why I'm kind of shocked that the Patriots let him go. He's been consistent for him. 3 straight seasons, almost 60 catches last year, almost 730 yards. But, I mean, touchdowns kind of regressed last year a little bit. I think it was the year before. I think he set an NFL record or something like that. Or that's what it was. Receiving, that's what I read. It was he set an NFL record with his number of receiving yards prior to getting touchdowns. So, which was crazy. But outside of that, I don't know. Are you a fan of this Jimmy G to Jacoby Myers?
I think playing opposite Adams might benefit him. We didn't see him get to play with somebody like that in New England, and he was their go-to. I'd say over his last couple of years, he probably was their most productive wide receivers. I don't know exactly, but Just thinking back, I think he probably was. So, I mean, to put him in a situation where he's opposite a guy like Adams, who's going to be taking a lot of those double coverages away, and maybe see him get more one-on-one opportunities, he might flourish in that environment. And they got Renfro in the slot too, right? I mean, they got a good, solid receiving core there that he hasn't worked with at all in New England.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm not completely against it. It's just I thought it was kind of just strange.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. But I do like Myers. I liked him. You know, even though he was undrafted, I think I hyped him up coming into the year. I think I remember.
I think he was on one of our shows that you pumped his tires a little bit,
and you're laughing at me.
Oh yeah, big time.
Another kind of whatever unmeaningful, irrelevant signing. Josh Oliver going to the Vikings, tight end. I guess the Vikings forgot that they have TJ Hawkinson, but I think Oliver's more of that blocking tight end. I think might be a little bit better for them. Just kind of scrolling down. Garoppolo to the Raiders now. I mean, the Raiders needed a quarterback. Jimmy G knows McDaniels. I mean, what better fit would you need, right?
Yeah, it's almost. I mean, you look at Carr and Garoppolo, and they're very similar quarterbacks. You know, efficient. They don't go downfield too much. They just try and dip and dunk and just be efficient quarterbacks. And we'll see what. I mean, it obviously didn't work between Carr and Adams. So we'll see if Garoppolo can step in there and get some sort of chemistry going with Adams and hopefully take this offense somewhere. Because right now, I think their offense is built pretty good. They got the running game in Jacobs, who had an amazing season last year. And like I said, their receiving core is sort of shaping up to be pretty good.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I do. The thing with him is going to be health as well, right? I mean, he needs to stay on the field in order for that to happen. So,
who do they have at their number 2 right now? Do you know?
I do not.
No.
Well,
if you don't, he's probably a bum.
Yeah. Well, they lost Stidham, right? They lost Stidham to, I believe, Denver. So whoever their third stringer was. Yeah, that's actually, I'm interested to know that, but whatever. Next on the list, we got Jonnu Smith going to the Falcons. I mean, that does nothing for me whatsoever. Hopefully, Kyle Pitts gets something going rather than having to block all the time. I'm hoping.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of familiarity with their offensive coordinator because it's the same one from Tennessee. But I don't see his role being any different than it was in New England. Pitts is going to be the number 1. He's going to be the number 2. Just like he was behind Hunter Henry in New England. So I don't think his numbers are going to go up.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, neither do I. That's why I'm still not going to take a shot on him anyways. So now we're getting deep at the very pretty much start of this tampering stage was when the Texans signed Robert Woods. I love the signing.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm a big Texans guy. The fact that, you know, you're going to have another vet to play alongside Cooks, hopefully. And then you got, you know, the 2 young guys. You got Nico Collins, and then you got, hopefully, Mechie will be back this year. We might see a little bit of him coming back from that unfortunate scare that he had last year. But to me, $7 million a year for a guy like Robert Woods just never really panned out. When he was in Tennessee, I think now you're going to be slotting him in there with hopefully CJ Stroud, fingers crossed. Really hope that happens.
Yeah.
I do. I like it. I like it for him. I like it for the Texans.
Yeah, good signing. They're going to have like you said, a young quarterback in there. So I'd say just surrounding him by vets is a good idea.
And another one.
They don't have a veteran quarterback behind whoever they're going to bring in right now to sort of guide the guy. So he's going to need that veteran presence from other names on the offense. Agreed.
A couple guys we'll just touch on real quick. That's pretty much the meaningful guys that, you know, have kind of been, you know, signed or whatever. Just a couple of smaller name guys we'll talk about here. You know, Sam Darnold going to the Niners. I mean, it is what it is. He could start the season off as their number 1, but they got a killer deal for him, for a guy that, you know, Was at one point a very highly
Niners
touted.
fans will not like that.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, you got Purdy, which probably won't be back. Trey Lance might not even be able to recover ahead of week 1. So, I mean, you have Darnold back there. Keenum going to the Texans as well. I love that for a vet that's going to be able to mentor that young guy that they grab. Pollard taking that franchise. It looks like it's his job. The Cowboys are going to be releasing Zeke. This one's interesting to me. Samaje Perine going to the Broncos. This guy could ball out if you think about it. Hear me out. I mean, Javonte Williams got injured, might not be able to be back at the start of the year. Sean Payton's offense, even if Williams is in, I think we're going to see a lot of old school, Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara play coming out of these two. So I think Perine is going to be a solid. I think he's going to be an RB2 this year. In my ranking. Yeah.
Whoo!
Yeah, it might be a little bit ballsy.
I'm really banking on Javonte coming back because I'm keeping him in a pool, so I really need him to come back.
Yeah, both Jeff Wilson and Mostert re-signed with the Dolphins,
but they don't have Gordon there anymore in Denver either, right?
No, yeah, and no Mike Boone because he is with my Texans as well.
Yeah. So even if Javonte, I think ideally if Javonte's there, they'll both get the rock quite a bit.
I should make it clear. RB2 in PPR, not in anything else, only because his receiving ability is killer.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, Wilson, Mostert both re-signed with the Dolphins. I think both those guys, I think that's great for both those guys because we saw them play last year. And as far as running backs go, not too much else. I mean, Mike Boone, yay. We talked about all the receivers as far as I know. And yeah, Habby, anybody else you want to talk about? Did I miss anyone?
Did you mention Jacoby Brissett going to the Commanders?
Ooh, I didn't actually. That just came in as we went on the.
Yeah, that could be an interesting one. He did well in Cleveland last year before Watson came back, and I think the quarterback room right there. Who do they got there right
now? Sam Howell's there, right?
Yeah, Sam Howell, Brissett.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, he could step in there and right away become their number one.
Yeah, guy. if he struggles through training camp, if Howell does. Yeah. Basically, and Myles Gaskin re-signed with Miami. This running back class or core there is ridiculous. Nobody really else to really discuss now that I'm going through everything. So unless you got somebody, Habby, we can shut her down.
No. What do you think Zeke's going to sign somewhere, or do you think he's going to hang up the cleats?
I do. No, I personally think somebody's going to pay him. Somebody's going to go out there and pay him. I think he bets on himself. I think he'll sign a 1-year deal for probably, let's say $5 million or something like that, $6 million. And I think he dominates wherever he goes. I don't know. There's something about that situation. Even when he was healthy, I think the fact that just Pollard is that good.
Yeah,
I think that's what killed him.
Yeah,
killed his value because even when he was healthy in playoffs, they still weren't using him enough.
He's had 7 solidly. Like I was looking at the list of guys who are over 28 that are still in the league, and it's pretty much all guys who have been like career backups. They've never really put up. There's like the odd guy. Melvin Gordon, they never really put up solid number one numbers throughout their career.
Mm-hmm.
But Zeke, from day one that he came into the NFL, his first year he had 330 carries. Like he's been a workhorse all 7 years he's been in the NFL, and it takes a toll on your body. And if he's smart with his money, I would almost tell him, just walk away, man. Walk away because you're walking.
Could be interesting. I don't know. I can't see him going out like that. I think he's still a competitor.
What? Oh, obviously he wants the Super Bowl. I'm sure every player does. And come back for lower money, go to a team that's a contender is my advice to him. One other guy was Mike White getting signed by the Dolphins. This could be big because Dolphins, they're obviously going for it this season. They want to win a Super Bowl this season. And Tua, I just don't think that he's going to last the season. So they bring in a guy like Mike White, and I think it's a great move for them to sort of, because a lot of teams, even Miami from last year, like they lose their starting quarterback, they're done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though it doesn't matter who you have around him, like they're done. So Mike White, he can win some games with that offense.
Yeah, he's a gunslinger. He likes to get the ball out. So I think he
may even take over the job just straight up against Tua.
Yeah. I think I read that he in his seven career starts he's had like three 300-yard performances. Yeah. So I mean that's crazy. He could toss the ball. So, but all right, buddy. Okay, well, we should get back on here again soon.
Yeah. Sure should.
Start talking about more stuff now that this, I would like to get back on once free agency does wind down and maybe talk about, because there's still a ton of names out there that are still waiting to sign, which are probably going to come out in the next few days. So, but outside of that, as usual, 247 Clash is going to be a sponsor of ours again this season. Head over there, use promo code North, and start playing. It's basically a player versus player fantasy points. Basically fantasy points for player versus player. Right now, obviously, with football season's done, they're not doing that, but they do a bunch of free contests every single week with hockey, with golf. And they're going to be, I believe when I was talking to the developer, they're going to be doing a bunch of stuff for the draft as well. So once that comes up, I'll make sure that I pass the information on to you guys. The link will be in the show notes of this episode. So outside of that, we will talk to you all soon. Peace.